Hello, hi. It is Heather here, the owner of UU Yarns, still fixing her hair for the day. Anyway, I thought I would pop in. I love to chat live every Wednesday, and we talk about knitting and all things yarn. This is my studio, so welcome to my little office. And I love chatting, like I said, about all things yarn. So while I do own a yarn company, we can see our little yarn. Yeah. We make all merino yarns. They're nice and soft and squishy. Uh, there's so much more to knitting than and crochet than just the yarn and the needles and the patterns. There's the why we do it and what it does for us. So that brings me to one of my favorite things is a habit tracker. And if you've never heard of a habit tracker, that is something just to record your goals or record what you did that day. So, did you drink a glass of water? Did you do some knitting or crocheting? So, same type of thing. Having an awareness about your habits and hobbies makes you remember to do them. So that's a motivating factor. And you can accomplish more goals if you keep track of those type of things. You're basically holding yourself accountable. So on my website, UU Yarns, we have a habit tracker. Oh, I made the camera thing move. I got a new camera and it does fancy stuff like follow you around the room if you tell it to. So, anyway, dramatic. Okay, new camera. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the habit tracker today. So, this neat thing is called a stitch tracker, and you can see it's listed for every day of the year. And you can see what like how much I've stitched. And you can see some months are really going, and then others have really drifted off. And it really resembles the kind of year I've had. So just an interesting, and then at the bottom, I also have like a word of the year thing, which hilariously, maybe not hilarious. Anyway, we can talk about word of the year too. My word of the year was consistency. And you can see I was really aiming to have consistency, but as you can see by this, I definitely did not. But I'm choosing to not be hard on myself about that. It's just more being able to look back and see what I've done. So, and maybe what else was happening in my life during those periods, like when I was knitting all the time. It was January, it was cold. There's always new stuff coming in January. So, a lot of motivation to knit. And then February, my yarn shipment arrived. So I was really busy and physical all day. So sitting down to knit then was not something that was at the top of my list. Um, so yeah, we can just sort of have a little review of the year. And it just helps take a look at stuff. So if you've worked on a habit tracker, you know, tell me what for, or do you use my stitch tracker? That would be great. I would love to hear about it or see how yours is looking throughout the year. I did not, like I said, it is progress over perfection. Hold on, I gotta check my dog. What do you need? Come in. Had like a crying, a whining stereotype. Yes, you're in here now. You're in the club. Okay. So, anyway, progress, not perfection. And that is the key. So, you can see here in September and August, I have been knitting a ton again. So, September and August, by that I mean September and October. there has been a lot clicking through my needles, which is a ton of fun. I finished a Roxana reversible beanie. I made one in charcoal. I dropped it off at my local yarn store so they could have a sample. This one's mine that I like to wear. Um, I finished my Clear Skies cowl, which you remember we worked on over the summer. It was so close to being done, and then it needed to be blocked. So that is all set and finished, and I love it. Perfect for now. Really cute. And I also pulled out my Pop Your Color pullover, which I had not finished. Oh, I knit the cardigan version, but I had not yet finished my pullover, sadly. Oh, oh, this camera's really okay. I don't know if we like that or not. So anyway, back to my knitting. I am working on my Pop Your Color pullover. So you can see I am nearly done with the sleeve here. So I have all my stitch markers and my decreases. So I've been cruising along. It got really hot there at the end of the summer. And I think it was like Labor Day weekend. I'm like, I am going to go out of my mind. So I just put this on the table and started knitting on it. And I love it. So um, I mark each decrease, and then I have even more markers. So this is how many more decreases I need to do. So I have, looks like I have 3 more to do on this sleeve. And then the cuff. And then when I knit the other sleeve, I take these markers off as I mark them onto this sleeve. So I know I have the same number of rows and the same number of decreases. So that is my Pop Your Color pullover, which hopefully will be done shortly. And then I was at the yarn store for San Diego Yarn Crawl, and I got on a wild tear at the yarn store, like every good knitter does. And I started myself this is called Lento. It was in Lane magazine. So it's really good. It's another cute uh, um, round neck, top down raglan pullover. I seem to have a thing I like, I guess, as I wear a V-neck. I don't know. Anyway, so I got on a wild tear and I started a Lento sweater. So this is actually in my You So Sporty. So it's You So Sporty in charcoal. You can see that pretty charcoal color, held with this Lane mohair. So that's been a lot of fun. And it's turning out like this. So I did my gauge swatch and I've been knitting, knitting, knitting. So 2 sweaters going at the moment. Plus, like I said, I finished the hat, finished a cowl. Oh, and there's also the unapologetic sock class. So I did that gauge swatch. I started that sock. I don't have it in here right now, but there has been some serious yarn amounts going through my hands. So that's been a lot of fun. But I'd love to hear what you're working on or where you're tuning in from, or if you have any questions about any of my projects. I'm really sorry about this camera thing. It's kooky how it moves around with you. Dun dun dun. Um, okay, so that is the stitch tracker. I should put a link to it. It is a free PDF download. I have yarn and projects everywhere on my hands now. I will put a link. There is a link in the description, but I will drop one here in the comments too, because It's just a really fun thing to have kind of a visual record of, well, besides the actual visual record, more like a statistical record of how much you've knit. So, just a really fun little thing to keep by. I keep mine in my paperwork, so I pull it out and I like to have my colored pencils and I work a different color each month just for fun. So I just have one pencil out and then pick a new color. So I figured though, as we are now in the fourth quarter of the year, I just thought we'd check up and see how we're doing since we're winding down and then we get to do a fresh one for 2025 and pick a new word and all the stuff. But yes, I think it's pretty funny that my word was consistency because I guess it was something I was striving for. Um, and then it just really um really interesting to put a visual to such a specific word. Not sure. Not sure how I feel about all that yet, but I'm gonna wait till the end of the year to really analyze that part. So that is what's happening here at UU Yarns. I hope you had a good time and you're knitting yourself and that you're, moving along and you have some stitches on your needles and you're enjoying them. That is what I believe. I think as long as you're creating, you're doing the right thing. So I hope you have a great day and I'll see you again next week. I won't put my hand up so my camera doesn't move all over. Anyway, happy knitting. If you would like to try any of our yarns or if you have any questions, you can reach out at our website, uu.com. You can download that free PDF stitch tracker and see how you do for the end of the year if you aren't already on one that'll help amp you up for 2025. So I hope you have a great day and I'll see you again next week.